Hello everyone, welcome back to TVET Channel IT. In today's video, we are doing Practical Assessment Task 2 of Computer Programming Level 4, which is a continuation of Practical Assessment Task 1, which we have already done. And let us go to the description of the task. So we are required to do subtask 1, subtask 2, and subtask 3. So Practical Assessment Task 2 uses the data identified in Practical Assessment Task 1 and consists of three main subtasks, that is our subtask 1, subtask 2, and subtask 3. So in subtask 1, we are required to create a database model which must be in the third normal form, and we are also required to submit the normalized tables, database design model, and user interfaces as evidence. So let us jump to the instructions of the task. It says, in your own time of at least 2 weeks, you must use the internet and other resources to gather information on the following aspects. So by now you must already know what is normalization and how to do normalization, how to create a data dependency diagram, and how to create an ERD. So these are the useful links that they gave you. And if you guys want us to go one by one on those aspects, normalization and dependency diagrams or ERD, you can do videos about those topics. Actually, we already have a video in our channel where we do an ERD, how to create an ERD. But for now, let us do our practical task. So these are the instructions. It says you must reference your class diagrams from Practical Assessment Task 1 to create a relational database model that will be used to design a database. So we are required to refer in our class diagram, which we have already created in subtask 1, if you guys remember. So if you didn't do the subtask 1 with us, you can go, the practical task 1 with us, you can go to your practical task 1 and look for your class diagram and see how you designed your class diagram. If you remember, we had a product class, a payment class, and a transaction class. So this is the same, just that we will do this one for the ERD. They give us two options to create an ERD or a data dependency diagram. The database model should consist of at least 3 related entities with appropriate keys and should be normalized to the third normal form, that is normalization. You may either create a relation DB model in the form of an ERD or a data dependency diagram. So this is your choice, guys, which one you choose. So in our case, or for the purpose of this video, we are going to do an ERD. All the design should be done using an appropriate software model or diagramming tool. A relationship diagram created in MS Access is not acceptable. So we cannot create a relationship diagram using MS Access. We can use another tools, appropriate softwares like your Pro.io, your Lucid Chart, and others. As part of the designs, gather and create possible sample data that could be used to populate the designated database at a later stage. This will assist you in completing subtask 2. So now that we have the instructions, let us create our ERD. I've already created the ERD because we have a video in our channel that shows us how to create an ERD. So I didn't want to waste any time on creating an ERD from the scratch. So I already created an ERD using the class diagram that we had. So we had product, transaction, and payment class. Same goes with our ERD. We have a product entity, transaction entity, and payment entity. We have normalized our ERD because it has the primary keys and the foreign keys, and also the product in transaction, it is represented by its product code, and the payment in transaction is represented by the payment ID. And by now you must know how to do the ERD. And once again, if you do not know how, you must go to our must watch the video in our channel that talks about creating the ERT. Now let us jump to subtask 2, which you will get 25 marks for this task. So these are the instructions. Create a database management. So to create a database in MS Access, defining and creating tables, adding keys, adding and establishing relationships and cardinality, adding records, connecting to MS Access database in your IDE of choice and programming language, performing database CRUD operations. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll open our Access and we'll create a database. So we'll create a table and we'll say we'll go to design view and create the first table. That will be the product table. So we create our table according to the ERT that we have made. So all the entities that are in the ERT must appear in our table, because that is why we have created our ERT. It was just our database model. So we are looking at the ERT that we have created. So we'll have a product code, a product name, and a product quantity and a price, and we'll do the rest for the transaction and the payment. So this is how we create our database table, product code. And remember, they said we must have the keys. This is our primary key. This is our primary key. And the product code, the data type we'll use, let us keep it simple and use a short text. After product code, you have a product name, and also we'll keep it simple, short text. Then we have quantity, which will use a number, and that number will be an integer. So we choose to use an integer. Then we go to price, and we'll choose to use currency. So currency, yes, currency. Now we are done creating a first table. We can click here and save the table. We can adjust our columns so that they look nice. Now we are done creating the product table. So we can create another table. Create a table, then go to design view, and this will be the payment table. Sorry, this is the payment table. Click OK. Let's use a short text. Then this is our cash, currency, this is the total, currency, this will be the change, currency, and this will be our foreign key, product code. This is the foreign key, product code, and we'll keep it as a short text. And save. Now create another table, the last one, the transaction table. The transaction table. So what else we can do? We forgot to put the transaction ID as a primary key, so just right click and set primary key. So we save. Now our three tables are complete. Then let's go to our question paper. So it says create where were we? So it says create appropriate relationships between the tables and indicate the cardinality of the relationships. So okay, now we go to our database. Now we have to create the relationship between these three tables. So we go to database tools, relationships, add table, we add the payment, the product, the transaction. Oh, we didn't add the payment. Add the payment. Now our three tables are added. What we can do, we can just adjust them so that our relationship will not cross each other. What we can do is that we can create the actual relationships. So the relationships are between the primary keys. In fact, the primary keys and the foreign keys. So we said one product can be included in many payments. So we click the product code and drag it and place it on top of the product code in the payment table. Then we click enforce and we click create. So our relationship is created and the cardinality is created. So once again, we click the product code and place it on top of the product code in the transaction and table. Then we enforce and we create. The database engine could not log transaction because it is already used by another person or process. Click OK. So let us close the transaction table over here. So right click and close it. Then we do it again. Payment ID, enforce. Sorry, not payment ID, product code to product code. Then we enforce, then we create. Our relationship is created. Then we click the primary key of the payment ID to the foreign key of the payment ID in the transaction table, and we enforce and we create. And boom, our tables are created and the relationships are made and the cardinalities are visible. And what else we can do? It says adding records. So here's the instruction: populate one of the tables with at least 5 records of assembled data. This table will be referred to as the main table going forward. The other two tables need to only have a minimum of 1 record. So we will focus on the product table. Open the product table. So this is our main table. You can choose yours, but we will stick with the product table because the idea is that we want to create an inventory system, an inventory management system, or a stock management system. So we want to keep track of our products, how many product we have. We want to keep track of the products. So we want to manage our products. That's why we stick with this table. So going on forward, we will choose. Going on forward, we will focus on the product table. Now they say we must add assembled data. So what we can do, we can open our practical task 1, which is what we have done. If you guys remember, this was our practical task 1. So we will focus on the product information. So this is the table that is in our database, the product information. So we can go to the code. So we'll start with milk. Milk, it's the product code is 1, and the price is 20 rands. So that is what they mean by the assembled data. So milk. Sorry, the product code is 1. The product name is milk. So this is the new this is a new column that we created since we are creating a stock management system. So we want to keep track of how many items do we have regarding milk. So let's say we have 50 milk and each milk costs us 20 rands. So this is our first record. Then we will do the same for another record. So bread 10 rands 2. So product code is 2 and the name is bread, and let's say we have 20 items, and you said the bread is 10 rands and so on. So the product code for salt is that it's 100, then say salt, then you can say you have 100 items. Remember guys, this is our store, so it's up to us of what is going on in our storage. So I left it one last record. You can take oil, and the product code is 500, the name is oil, then let's say you have 20 items, then the price is 60 rands. Then we have our 5 items. Then we can open the transaction because they said other tables must at least have one record. So we can say this is transaction number. You can say this is 01. Then we wait for the payment ID. So open the payment. Let's say this was the payment ID number 1, and someone, let's say someone paid 50 rands. Then the product was 30 rands, which is salt. Then the change is 20 rands. Remember, this is how our first system works. And the product code, we said sugar, it was 3. So the product code is 3. So since the payment ID is 1, you can go to the transaction ID and say payment ID number 1. So now all of our tables are populated. This one, they required 5 records, 1 record and 1 record. So we are done. We are moving on to the subtask tree. So what we will do now, we will save our database. So say save as. So what you want to do, since we know that the database will be connected to the program that we'll create in VB.NET, so I'm using Visual Basics 2012. So I will just choose this one. I will choose this one, this access 2002 to 2003, and then yes, I want to close the objects. Yes, I want to change the layouts. Now I want to name my database as SparserDB. So I can name it as SparserDB. And I'll put this in my desktop. Okay guys, so now we are proceeding to subtask 3. It says create a software application. That is, this is our main system that we will do. They want us to, in our UI, they want us to have the controls to display a specific record, the controls to filter, display the records, update, insert a new record, and to delete a record. So they say ensure your code can run multiple forms to implement the difference of CRUD operations. Write program code to connect to MS Access database and execute the required SQL statement for each of the controls listed in the program interface above. Okay, what we're going to do, since we run multiple forms, since they said in our instructions we must create multiple forms for our program, so we will use a panel. We'll use a panel to make our multiple forms to look nicer. So our multiple form will look nicer. So we'll use this panel, and we will go to the properties and look for dock. We dock it here in the left. So our panel will be placed here, and also we can change the back color so that it will be visible. You can choose any color of your choice. So this is our panel. Then we create another panel. This is panel number 2. And we can change the back color. Let's say this one. So remember, guys, you can design. You design in whatever way that you want, but this is just my way of creating a neat program. And this will be our panel number 3, and you can adjust its back color. You can use the same color, and you can go to dock, and dock it on top. Now we can create now the main panel, so we can adjust the back color of it as well. Let's say this one is, you can choose this one, and you can go to dock, say on the left, and we expand our panel. So it will look, my interface will look like this. So first of all, we'll have a label. We'll place a label here, and we'll paste. Okay, I think it looks good. Then what else will I need? I will need a data grid view. Data grid view. Data grid view. Also, we'll have another label here and another label here. So now I can proceed. To name, to give text to my labels. This will be my home. This is just a home label. Let's say home. Go to font, make it bold. Say 12, say underline. Okay, now you can come here and type welcome, and you can see products. And you can see that product. You can edit each product. Those are instructions. You can delete. Okay, now we can name our controls. Go to the naming. Say if we are following our instructions, they say the user interface must run all multiple forms. So it says ensure your code can run multiple forms to implement the different CRUD operations. So now we'll create we'll now add a new form, and this form will be for add product. So it means whenever we click this button add product, we want this form to appear. So I will just fast forward, guys, because this part is easy. I'll just fast forward. So this is the data grid view. This data grid view is the same as this one. So it is the same as this one, and these are text boxes which we are going to use. So we'll now add another form. For the update product. So again, first one, and then save search product. Lastly, we add another form for product. Okay, now we're done with the database. So what we can do, we can create a code. So here in form 1, we can create a sub procedure to create a child form. So what we can say private sub. So we can declare here in global, we can say dim current form as form. So I will shortly explain this code, guys, but for the sake of time, let me just type it and then explain it afterwards. So say if current form is not anything. Okay, guys, so you all need not to worry about this code. It is not required from your assessment. It is just a nice way of creating a user interface. And remember, you can go about any way you want to create your user interface. So since mine has these multiple panels, so since my user interface has these panels, and this code is just a way of setting them, how will my panels work and how will my user interface work. So for your own practical, you can just skip this part and do your user interface as you want to do. So I will proceed. So if I click this button, I want it to take me to the form, to this form. So what I'm going to do, click on the button. So I'll say open child form. Remember, this is my sub procedure that I have created. So, and this is how my program works. So I say btn add dot text. So if I run my program, if I click this button, it will take me here. But if I click other buttons, they are not working because I didn't go to them. So guys, if you want, you can just skip this part based on how you want to create your form. Let's say you skipped this part. Let's just delete this part, and you can just add in this button, in the add button, you can just add this code, add product.show, and if you click start to run your program, if you click this button, this form will appear. So, and also, but you'll have multiple forms on top of each other. So to avoid this, you can just say then me dot hide. Now if you run your program, this code will appear, and if you start, it will hide that one, and this one will appear. So this is how you can do it. But as I've said, I want mine to look fancy, so I just created this sub procedure, which is not a must, and I will have this code instead of that one, so that if I run the program, if I click this button, it automatically do this. So I will put the same code in all these buttons in this. So they are all working now. If I add, this will appear. If I update, this will appear. If I delete, this will appear. And if I search, this will appear. So my interface is now working fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the main code. So this must be the first line of code on top of your public class form 1. This must be your code. Then what else we can do is that we can create a code so that whenever we run our program, our products will be displayed here. The products that are already in the database. So what is it that we're going to do? First of all, we will connect our database. We will connect our database. So we must first save our program. must first save our program and go to our desktop. If you remember, we saved our database in the desktop. We can copy it and go to the file that has our project. First save our project. After saving our project, so we'll go to the file that have our documents. This is the file, stock manager, and we can just paste the database that we have created in subtask 2. Then we can open the file again. So what you want to do is to actually connect our database so that it will appear here. So what you can do is to go to Server Explorer and say connect to database, and select the OLEDB provider. Then we select the name of the database, which is parser inventory, and we test connection. The connection succeeded, and click OK. Then we click OK again. Then our database is now connected. Then we go to Form 1 code, and we create the code to actually connect our database, because in this section we were just adding our database into the project. Now we want to connect our database in these forms. So what we're going to do is to create, first of all, we will create a sub procedure whereby we will call it upgrade. So update, let's call it update grid. You can call it anything you want to call it, but I will stick to update grid. So this is just to update the data grid view, so that whenever we run our program, we want the database to appear here. So we will declare, this is where we do the actual connection. We'll declare dim con. So if you want, you can say dim connection or whatever you want, but I'll stick to dim con as new OLEDB connection. Dim command as new OLEDB command. This is how you connect your database. Dim data table. So let's just say dt data table is new data table. As new data table. After that, say try, so that your code will be inside the try and catch section, so that whenever we face errors, the runtime errors, the program must not crash. So say try, we say try, and we hit enter. Then we say con dot connection string is equal to. Now we go to our database connection, and we go to its properties. We copy this connection string. We copy and we paste it here. Then we put double quotes in the end and double quotes in the beginning. Then what else we do? We delete these double quotes. So between this source and C, we delete these double quotes, and we delete these ones. Then our code is fine. Our connection string. So after that, what we do is to open the connection. So connection.open, then command.connection is equal to connection. Now we'll declare the variable to store the SQL statement. So dim str, because it's a string, SQL as a string is equal to, open and close the double quotes inside. We say select all from product, because this is the main table that we are focusing on, the product table. This product table is the one on the database that we have created. Now what else we do? We say cmd.command text is equal to str SQL. Then we want to load our table, data table dot load, and inside the parentheses we say cmd dot execute reader, then open and close another parenthesis inside these ones. Then we close our connection dot close. After that, data grid view display dot data source is equal to data table. So in the catch section, you can just say message box dot show x message. Just say comma and indicate that this is an error. And you can put message box buttons dot OK, comma message box dot error. So we can call our function, start our procedure in the form 1, or we can just say click form 1 and click here, then it will direct you here and say update and hit enter. This is where we call our procedure. Now if we start okay, our program does not respond. What we'll do, we go to, it looks like we have just connected to the wrong database. So let us add once again our ADP provider go to data links, or we go to documents and go to the correct folder, which is stock manager, and we want to link with this this database. So this is how we do it, and we test the connection. Click OK and click OK again. So now it means we will have to change our connection string because we have linked. Let's just delete this one. We'll have to click here and go to properties and change the connection string. Copy the new correct connection string because we have just connected to the wrong database. So this is the right one. Then we all know the drill. We put double quotes outside and delete the ones that are on the inside. And we put double quotes outside and delete the one on the inside. So now let us test our program once again. If we click, then the database will now appear in our data grid view. So this is how to make your database to appear on the data grid view. But now let's say we want to add a product from here. So we go to that class. So we go to that form, the add product form, and we go to add button. And also we'll just copy this procedure for update grid, because we want to update grid on each and every button. So we just copy it, and go to this form, double click this form. On top of this form we paste it, and also on top of the name of the form we always write import system data OLEDB. Then our errors are now fixed. Then what else we want to do in this in the form 1.load we add update, we call update grid, we call our procedure. So let's test it again. So if we run our program, the products are here. If we add, and they are also here, ours is to add a new product, but we haven't done that code. Now let us go to that code. We go to this button, to the button add, go to the button add, and now we'll add our code. So here what is going to happen is we say dim. Okay, let's just take this code, dim con and dim command, copy and edit here. What else do we need? We need that try and catch block, and hit enter. Then what else do we need? We need the connection string and the command.connection and the command.command text. So we will reuse this code, this string, this connection string. If you want it, you can type it, or I'll just copy it up to the command text, cmd.command text. I will just copy it and go down to the try of the button and paste this one. But the command, the SQL statement, I don't want this one, I will write a new one. So I'll just say insert, because now I want to add in that database table, insert into product. Remember, this is the name. This is the name of the column. This is the name of the table. Insert product. Then I open brackets. Open square brackets. product code. Now this is the name of the column in that table. Then I say comma. What else? It's product name. No, I should have the square brackets. Comma. And now we'll have, remember these columns are in that database table. Then now we say values. Now I add the values. I say add product code, comma, product name, comma, so this is my SQL statement. Then under the command text, now I will add the parameters. I will add the parameters with the values. So it says command dot parameters dot add. I want to add them with value. Add with the values, and I'll just say add product code. Then I'll say txt product code. Remember the txt product code is this text box. This one is product name, price, quantity. So this is what is going on. So txt product code, and I will do the rest to all of the parameters. Then what else I will do? I'll say cmd dot execute query, then message box. After this has happened, I will say message box dot show products added successfully. Say product added, comma, stock manager, then comma, message box dot uk, comma, let's say information. Yeah. So then after that, what else do I want to do? I want to update CRUD. I want to call my function update CRUD, so that after I added my products, then they will appear. Then now I will put this message box button, this message box in this exception, in this catch area. So now if I run my program, if I want to add a product, I can add a product code. Let's see which product code that is not available here. Let's say the product code is 300. Then the name of the product, let's say it's meat. Then the price of the product, let's say it's 100 rands. Then how many do we have in the storeroom? Let's say we have 8 items. If I click add, it says data type mismatch in the criteria expression. Okay, now this is our mistake. We didn't put dot text. So this is the dot text that is missing, because remember we are referring to the text that is inside the text box, not the actual text box. So we're not referring to the actual text box. So let us run. Let's say we want to add, let's say the product code, let's say 1, 2, 3, 400. Now let's say 4, and the name of the product is meat. Then the price maybe 100 rands, and maybe we have 8 items on the storeroom. If we add, it will display a message box product added, and if we click OK, it will update our data grid view. So this is our product. So let's say maybe we have a product code 44, and now we have eggs. I'm just making an example. Then let's say the price of the eggs is 69 rands. Then let's say the product quantity, let's say we have 200 items on eggs. If we add product added successfully, if we click OK, now the product is added to the database. So I will just input the code for the update product, and the delete and the search button, and also for the exit button. So first of all, we will need our update grid. The sub procedure will copy it and paste it in the update form, paste it here. Then we always import systems.data.alldb. Then go to the update button and put update grid. Sorry, not on the update button, on the update load, on the update.load. Don't click here, and you put it here. The code for update button is actually the same as the add button, so we'll copy the same code from the dim to the entry, copy and go to the update button and paste the same code. Now the difference here is the SQL statement. The difference between the update and the button and the add button is the SQL statement. So we will just remove this SQL statement and put a new one. I will quickly type it and fast forward the video. This is the new statement for update. This is the new statement for update product. Set product name is equal to the value at product name. Quantity is equal to the value at quantity. Price, the value at price. Where product code is equal to the value at product code. So this is the SQL statement, and also the message will be different. We'll say product updated, and everything else will be the same if we run our program. If we go to update product, we just want to go to the text box that we update. So if we want to click salt, this data should appear here, so that we can update whatever we want to update. So we'll change the properties of our data grid view. So we'll go to the data grid view. Okay, let us look for events. Let us go to events and click the events, and let us look for cell click. It's supposed to have cell click. Here is cell click. So if you double click the cell click, we will add this code. We'll say if e.row index is less or equal to 0, then we declare dim row. dot value. Remember, this is just an additional code, since we want to make it easier for us to access our data grid view. If we run our program, if we click let's say oil, sorry, if you click update, and if you click oil, if you click sugar, the product is automatically updated here. Now let's say we click eggs, the product is automatically inserted here. Now we can update. Let's say we are left with 100 eggs. Okay, there's something wrong here. Okay, now let us go to our update grid and modify it and say data table dot clear, because we want to avoid the duplicate data. Okay, so I think our mistake, we didn't close our connection dot close. I think that's our mistake. So now let's say we want to update our product. Let's say we want to update our product price. Let's say now the bread has increased to 15 rand. If we click update successfully, and the bread is now 15 rands. Let's say we want to update our salt, the price of the salt. Let's say we want to update the price to 35 rands, and let's say the quantity. Let's say now we're left with 20 items of salt, and now let's say we want to say pink salt. If you update, we now have pink salt, 20 items and 35 grams of salt. So this is the code. This is how the update product will work, and also this is the code that we will use in the update product. Now, since we get the idea, we will continue to do the search product, but I will fast forward the video. I will only show the code since we get the idea of how this works. If we click search, let's say we want to search for eggs. Search eggs will only appear. Let's say we want to search for milk. Search milk will appear, and so on. And now let us go to our delete button. We'll do the same for our delete button. So we go to delete, go here, and copy the update grid procedure. Let's copy it and go to the delete. On top of the delete, we paste the update grid. Then import system.data.oladb, our data provider. Then go to our delete button and call our procedure update grid, and go to our delete button now. In the delete button, we'll declare our connection. So our delete button is the same as our search button. You can copy this code for search button. Up to here, copy and go to the delete button. Put a product code, text the product code, and what else we can do? Execute reader. Then we close our connection. Then you can just put a simple message box. Then we always update our grid after deleting. This is supposed to be inside here. Then so now we can run our program. So if you want to delete, you delete using the product code. Let's say you want to delete pork. So we type the product code for and you delete. Okay, pork is not deleted. Okay, pork is not deleted. What is it that we didn't do? Oh, we forgot to change the SQL statement. The SQL statement is supposed to be delete, not select. So delete, the structure is the same as select, but it only says delete all from product where product code or where product name. Let's use product code, where product code is equal to the value product code. So if we start our program, let's say we delete, where is the pork? We want to delete the pork. So we just type the product code and delete. Now the pork is deleted. Let's say we want to delete the oil. So the oil is number 500. We delete number 500. The oil is now deleted. So this is how you do. All your buttons are now working well. So this is what they wanted from your practical assignment. Task 2. You have done subtask 2. You have done all what was required. So we'll get our full 25 marks. And we have done subtask 3, which we have done a user interface with all of these controls, and we have connected our program to database. So guys, thank you very much. Please make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment. If you have questions, you must put them in the comment section so that we will help you, we will assist you in answering those questions. And I bet you will have some questions, especially in the connection part. Most of the times the machines or the computers are not the same, so there are different data providers that are used. So maybe yours will ask you some questions that you are not familiar with, but please make sure you comment on the comment sections, and we'll answer you. Otherwise, for now, thank you very much. See you next time in another one.